up?
Hey, how's everyone doing tonight?
Dude, I'm fired up.
Yeah?
Yeah, man, I'm feeling good. I'm really fucking hyped about our guest tonight.
Yes.
Like, I'm real
Very
hyped about it,
excited.
dude. So pumped. I love this fucking guy. I remember when did I first hear about this dude? I saw Shane from Small Town cut his first clutch. So I was following him before he cut his first clutch. I can't remember the first time though. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
That video. I think it was Billy or Austin gave him a shout out, and they didn't even know he was like cutting his first clutch.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they thought he'd been doing it for like a minute, but
yeah, I remember seeing like the first YouTube video and stuff, like especially in the new room, and just being like, man, where's this dude been? And then you find out it's his first season. It's like, oh, apparently,
he did it right. He did it right.
Professional, awesome room. Everything just looked great. Like, it was just awesome.
Yeah, well, let's bring him in and find out how he did it. Everybody, Shane from Small Town Xotics.
Hey, Shane, how's it going?
What's up, brother?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Not much. How you been?
Been good. I'm getting some like super weird echoes though.
Oh.
I said everything sounds fine to me.
Yeah, it's good on my end still.
All right, let me try to turn this off
and turn it back on. Yeah, guys. So you know, Shane is on a work trip right now. That's what the deal is with his settings. He's on a work trip, so he's having a good old time.
Oh yes, I'm sure.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, huge shout out. Like, thanks for still coming in tonight, though.
I know,
no
man.
excuses, right?
I can hear you.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, we're good then.
Awesome.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, we were saying you're the real MVP. You're like, man, I don't give a fuck if I'm on a work trip. Yeah, I'm about to do this.
It's like still showing up.
I'm dedicated.
Well, I've been rolling like that since day one. So, I mean, yeah.
You go hard as fuck, bro. For real. You do. You go hard as fuck.
David. What's up, David? Oh, yeah. Jerome. Bro, man, how's it going with y'all?
Oh, dude, I'm fucking as busy as ever. My season is cracking.
Yeah.
Cracking, dude.
Yeah, I've got, 26 clutches in the incubator already. I know you had a bit of a bump in your season a little bit just from the move, right?
Yeah, that shit
seems to be going pretty well, though.
Yeah, well, we were talking about it off camera, but for everyone that didn't hear all that, girls that I thought would be reabsorbing because they should have already put eggs on the ground, according to my first season, they're actually just late and they're ovulating and stuff right now. So they're just 4 or 5 months behind schedule. So it's going to be interesting to see if they stay on that kind of time frame from here on out, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
So because I moved a lot in the Army with my collection, first, just I had 3 breeder pairs, 3 1.2, so 9 snakes. And then eventually I'm moving with 60 snakes and then 120 snakes. And when I started really breeding, what would happen is either the girl would take 18 months off or she would reabsorb and then grow her other line of follicles, that was loud, which is what I think happened to you. And the second line of follicles got fertile, and they do stay on that cycle. From what I have learned, they stay on their new cycle.
So I had a female. So my first season, I bred a schedule, whatever it was, on whatever. But I was watching with my ultrasound the whole time just to learn what the females were doing. And I watched a girl reabsorb, and then she went down to the 10 millimeter range 1 month, and then the next month she was climbing.
Yeah.
she ended up going on that year to have a clutch.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I
That's
kind
it.
of tell people that when they tell me like, oh, they're female reabsorb, I'm like, don't count them out because I watched. It was like a 3-month downward.
Yeah.
You know, she was in the high 20s and went all the way back down to 10, and then just fucking ramped right back up and had a clutch. So
Yeah, man. I
Very cool.
bred a girl for 18 months, and I just got that clutch established. Like they're just about to go on Morph Market. 18 months to the same male, because that's exactly what happened. It's fucking crazy. But before we go nuts, who
Yeah.
are you?
Oh, my name's Shane, Small Town Xotics. I used to be from California. Now I'm from Tennessee. So
That's fucking wild.
So what triggered the move? Why did you decide to leave California and head to Tennessee?
cost of living, taxes, politics.
Yep, everything.
Me and my wife were both born and raised in California, and we've been looking for the past couple of years, and then just all of a sudden the stars aligned, and so we just did it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So now, is this your forever home, do you think?
Yeah, I love Knoxville. I mean, it's beautiful there. I love it.
That's awesome, dude.
Awesome.
That's like the best feeling, is to like know, like, this is where I'm going to be for the rest of my life. Like, no matter where I go or anything, I always can come back home. Like, this is forever my home.
Yeah, and it's like one of those. It's kind of like when you show up someplace and it feels like home, even though it's just kind of like a deja vu type feeling. That
Yep.
was what happened in Knoxville.
That is so awesome.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're in a starter home, right? And it's always like, man, I want to make this upgrade or that upgrade or whatever. But we're hoping to move. And it's always like that thing. It's like, man, do I want to dump all this money into something that doesn't necessarily need to be done? I'm just kind of doing it for me, knowing that we're just going to go and move, in 3 to 5 years, So it's nice to get in that place that you're just like, I can do whatever I want because I'm going to be the one enjoying it so that's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Super nice. So how did you get into all this? What started your passion for the snakes and the ball pythons, and what's the story of Small Town Xotics?
So quick story is I had reptiles a majority of my younger life, and then took a long hiatus, about 10, 15 years away from everything. And then just got that wild hair to buy something, and I seen a genetic stripe, man. And I was like, man, that girl's only like $120. I was like, those things used to be thousands.
Yeah,
man.
I bought her right there. I was like, buy now, just give me that girl. And then all of a sudden it just took off. Once I got the wife involved and all that stuff too, kind of showed her what was going on, and so that's what started it. And I was closing down a different business, so I used all that money from that business to start up this business, and just rolled everything on over.
No, that's good shit, man.
Very nice. Max says he needs a small town shirt. So where can he grab one of those at, Shane?
The same place you can get Oodles and Noodles is Store Frontier.
Store Frontier, man. Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So you still have this COVID edition up right here?
Yeah.
This is the COVID edition, guys. Get you some.
Well, if I was home, I'd be wearing my Oodles shirt, but I'm not home.
I love that
it's
you
all
still
good.
have an Abe's Exotic shirt, though.
Yeah.
Right? Like I still took it with me on the business trip. Like I still have, because you were supposed to be in Texas for 2 weeks, right? And then they told you to turn around and come back. So that's why this all ended up you being in your sleeper and all that fun stuff.
Well, what's even crazier is I'm not even like a real truck driver. I'm just filling in, and then I'm like I'm on this joyride across America,
Yes.
Hey, life's beautiful though, man. Like you never know what's going to be in store. So.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, that's the best part of life.
No,
It is spontaneous. So here's a spontaneous question. What's the most important word in your vocabulary, and why?
motherfucker because you can use it for anything.
Hell,
Love
motherfucking
it.
yeah. Hell, motherfucking yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Fucking
right,
love that
well,
shit.
I hope I didn't break any YouTube rules or nothing.
Nope.
Nah, fuck them.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
I don't think so. I've got this under that content where like children shouldn't watch it. So we should be good to go.
We don't like kids around here. They can fuck right off.
Yeah.
Unless you're here to get educated for real, then I'll assist in education. Snot-nosed little shit can fuck right off, though.
I got to compliment you. I like the background and stuff you guys use. Looks
Thank
pretty
you.
good.
God, dude, it's just tubs full of snakes, man. Love these shits.
The other one, the lizards and stuff behind
The one
us.
on the stream.
Oh, the Reptile Revolution banner.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it is, bro. That's all it is right there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. Oh,
So-
man.
You're pretty big on YouTube, right, Shane? You got a pretty good channel running over there.
Yeah.
So-
It's all right. I mean, it's not like major, but yeah.
So give us some tips. Like, what are your thoughts on the YouTube algorithm? How does that all work? Do you just kind of post? Do you just kind of post at random what you want to post, or do you kind of go through
You're like
the motions?
same day, same time.
Structure. So that's what I did the whole time. I had one video a week, Sundays, or I think I started out on Saturdays, but it evolved to Sundays, and then it was 2 a week, Sundays, Wednesdays. And I just recently dropped down to 1 a week again, just because of all the move and all the craziness.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just like, I don't know. That's the way the YouTube people I talk to taught me, and that's just the way I do it too. Is just stay
Consistent.
stay structured, man. Like if you cut a clutch, don't get all excited and drop it right then. Like whatever your day is, unless that's what your channel is. I mean, some people,
Vloggers.
they only post during breeding season, and then you won't see them again until
Right.
like Trig Reptiles. You don't see him for a couple months, and then he comes back when he's got stuff to cut. So, I mean, I don't know. I guess to each their own.
Yeah, I guess it's how do you want to market yourself? What do you have to market yourself with? And how marketable have you allowed yourself to be? That's a big one.
One thing I learned is AdSense isn't going to pay too many bills. So once you get monetized, don't expect like money to start falling out of the sky, man, because it's not. When you get that first paycheck, you're like, oh man, like
like $5, dude.
If you work that out to hourly rates, man, that would probably be the least amount of money you've ever made in your life, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
So. I used to feel that way when I trained horses. Like people would bitch because I would charge $500 a month, right? Yeah. Well, $250 of it right out of my pocket goes to feed, bedding, all the shit that it takes to keep your horse there for a month, right? So now I'm getting $250. I'm working with your horse probably anywhere from 4 to 5 hours a day, 6 to 7 days a week. I mean, it comes out to like $2 an hour, you know, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, I love it.
That's how YouTube is too, man. Like it's a lot. Yeah.
Especially Shane, because you started doing your small town. It was Wednesdays, right? Where you were doing the unedited or minor editing videos.
Yeah, just trying to keep it simple because I was running out of time with everything else going on in my life. I think that was when I was getting ready to move and shit. I just wasn't making that parent yet or something. But
yeah, I remember sitting down to edit my first video, and I think I spent 6 to 7 hours editing a 15-minute video. Like it was just ridiculous.
I'm not even looking forward to that shit.
I'm losing you guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did we lose you a little bit? You got a little frozen there.
Yeah, Shane, you're like in and out, bro. You might have to hop out and hop back in.
You guys there?
Yeah.
Yep.
Can you hear us?
Oh,
All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna.
guys, we have been backstage for a straight hour with
Yeah.
no issues.
Yeah, we've been like bullshitting for an hour. No problem. That's fucking facts. It's like I remember being a private, and I made like it was like $1.34 an hour as a private first class. It's ridiculous. Because you're a soldier 24/7.
Yeah.
There we go.
I kicked him out so that he'd hop back in.
Okay, I just messaged him and was like,
Awesome. Awesome.
Come back in, dude. Yeah, I feel like these questions are really long. Everyone, our script is fucking long as shit. As in not up and down, like left or right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the next question is so good though. For Shane.
Yeah.
He's a fucking old dude.
So
He's an old school guy, man. Come on, you can do it, Shane.
who's excited for NARBC?
Schaumburg. I won't be there, guys. I'll be fucking going.
Yeah,
to-
we know. You're not allowed to talk because you're
Yeah,
leaving me in
North Carolina.
Schaumburg.
You'll be fine, dude. Just go make money there. Vend.
Nothing to sell.
Sell Reptichip. Sell the fuck out some Reptichip.
I can't sell Reptichip. It's Logan, the distributor.
Oh, that's right. Fuck. Damn it. That sucks, dude.
It does.
So, feet pics.
Do you have the right script, dude?
Yeah, I have the right script.
Okay.
No, wait.
Refresh.
I definitely don't. Okay, yeah. There it is. Now I got the right script. Holy shit. I was like, why the fuck did this not make sense?
I was
Yeah.
like,
I
what
just
do you
thought
mean the questions are really long? And then when you said that,
really liked some of the questions from last time.
yeah. And then when you said that first one, I was like, all right. He just threw it in there. Like, it's okay. It's a question we asked Billy, but it's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one. Guys, I don't know where Shane is, but I'd really like it if you come hang out.
What was
Okay.
that?
I said I would really like it if Shane would come hang out.
Right?
Because
I know he's not going to make it to Schaumburg either because of the move, which I totally understand. But y'all are leaving me alone. Need someone to talk to.
This is the only one. You'll be okay. Even before I had friends in the reptile industry, I would go to shows by myself.
I know.
Oh, yeah, I love
know.
it. Yeah, I love
But
it.
I am also going to give everyone shit for not coming.
Oh, yeah, true that.
Nobody can leave until he comes back.
Well, I'm watching the counter of how many people we have live.
Yeah.
So let's see.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see if people listen to each
You
other.
had some exciting news. You had a really good clutch ovulation this past week.
I had two of them. I had a breeder female, pastel, lesser desert ghost, ovulate, and she was bred to a clown het DG. And I have a female cypress het DG, ovulate, and she was bred to pastel desert ghost. So
Nice.
that's a good one. And then a snake that I didn't even expect to like give me eggs was laying on a clutch of eggs, a GHI Mojave.
Nice. Oh, nice.
Yeah. All
Hey.
right.
All right.
Man.
I had to switch Wi-Fi hotspots here, so.
Oh, no.
It's cool. No, we were just talking about how old and shit you are and shit, dude.
Oh, I'm an old man.
Yeah, you're old as fuck, bro. It's all good though.
Yeah. Sure, I probably got kids older than both of you guys.
I don't doubt it. I'm actually older than I look, but nah. Being an old school old head is fucking respectable, man.
Yeah, man. Well, you know, you kind of learn a little some lessons as you grow older. Like
Exactly.
fucking around. If you want it, just go for it. Hence, that's why I just like dove right into Small Town Xotics. I'm like, fuck, I'm getting old, man. I can't fuck around, you know. So just go for it.
I was
like
lucky.
that.
I learned that at a young age. So I'm fortunate.
Yes, you are.
I'm just a go big or go home kind of guy.
I'm also just hard headed. I'm very much fueled by the people who are like, you can't do that. That will never make money. You'll never make a business out of that.
Oh,
like,
yeah, when someone says you can't.
I'm almost too stubborn that even when I'm failing, I will keep, like, I won't admit it and keep going.
Yeah.
You know?
Dude, yeah.
Very much that way.
I'm like when I my Army recruiter went to the school and talked to my guidance counselor or whatever, she was like, he'll never make it in the military. And then when I was like this staff sergeant, jump master, bad motherfucker, been to war and back, I came to school to pick up my sister, and I walked in her office and I was like, fuck you, like so loud, dude, so loud. I didn't give a shit. and then I picked up my sister and we left. Felt so good.
Too funny.
So good, man. Felt so fucking good. But what's your thoughts on the Instagram algorithm?
You know, I don't know what it is, honestly. I treat Instagram and YouTube the same, just consistent. And so, like, I post every morning, one picture every morning, and then I interact with people throughout the day. I try to keep some stories running, usually all the time. That's about it, man.
I feel that. So just consistency.
I think that is a perfect example of, like, guys, if you have good content and you're passionate about what you're doing and you're moving in the right direction, doesn't matter if you know the exact hashtags to use or the exact time to post or the, you know, if you're paying for these promotions or all this stuff, right? Consistency, engage with your followers, keep your content relevant. You know, it's all it takes.
And as we already pointed out, I'm kind of old, so I don't know any secret hashtags or anything like that. I just keep on moving forward every day. You know, and I've messed around with times a little bit, not on my own accord, just because of my work schedule. And I do notice a difference depending on when I post a little bit. But I mean, just keep going every day. Just post every day, one a day. Don't post 10 million pictures in one day. You blow your wad and you spread your load throughout the whole, you know.
Yeah.
Man, just one a day and just
one
go
a day, dude.
Yep.
One a day, consistent stories. I think the engagement is also key. I think you got to give a little to get a little as well.
And I've noticed not just engaging with your followers on your posts, right? But like commenting on other people's stuff too. Like even if it's just something real quick. And I don't know if that's necessarily an Instagram algorithm thing, or I've just noticed like if I engage with those people, they tend to engage back, right? Yeah. And then you just kind of feed off each other. And obviously the more comments and that kind of stuff you get, the more reach usually and stuff that ends up happening. But yeah, you know, just
yeah. You want to hear how old I am? I just realized not too long ago that I could follow a hashtag. So I've been interacting with Heloderma people for the past couple of weeks, and now they're following me on.
Fuck yeah, dude!
I'm like off on a Heloderma kick. So
yeah, I'm doing the same thing with chondros, dude. I started following all the chondro hashtags, and I've just been like learning because I'm trying to learn right now. Before I go and buy one, I'm trying to see, you know, who does what, how does this guy do this, who do I buy from? That's another big one, you know. So I've been doing the same shit, bro, and I just learned that too, like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
I'm technologically ignorant. That's all. I'm saying ignorant.
Well, you know, Liz brought up something about like paid promotions and shit. I don't know. I've got to where I'm at in the Instagram world. No giveaways, no paid promotion, like 100% just all elbow grease. So
Yep.
Take that for what it's worth, but
And I think that's an interesting point with the no giveaways. That's the number one thing where, like,
Yeah.
I've read up on it, and people that are supposed to be like Instagram guides or something, you know, where it's like, sign up for my monthly thing and I'll tell you all the secrets. Like their number one top tips that they give everyone to try to get them into their program or whatever is do giveaways, do this. And I'm just like, dude, and I feel like in our industry, that's so hard. I'm like, yeah, I guess I could give away like a snake hook or a thermostat or block a Reptile chip or something, but I feel like that only goes so far. Like, you know, you can't really give away your product, right? Because your product is a living animal. I'm not going to just start sending snakes out willy-nilly.
No.
10,000 people that one wins that sign up for a giveaway, you know?
Yeah, and I've always just thought to myself, too, I would rather people follow me that want to follow me, not following me for free stuff.
Yes, I totally agree. Like, and I mean, I don't have that many followers on Instagram. I think I'm still under 2,000 followers. I do not have that many, but the number that I do are pretty engaging. They're pretty engaging. Like, they know who I am and what I produce, and most of them have messaged me and asked questions, and I don't get a lot of like random people just following me to follow. You know, it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Or, you know, I know these people are all snake people and they know what's going on, and it's just, they're definitely organic.
Yeah.
That's
that was my goal the whole time. And you know, I talked to some other people that were like right a couple years ahead of me. Like I was just like following in their footsteps.
Right.
And they were telling me like when they would run giveaways, whether it was on YouTube or Instagram, I don't watch analytics, but they would watch their analytics and they would see the numbers go up. And then like right after the giveaway, they would all drop back to down to normal. I'm like, so you really didn't get much ahead. You just got
you might, you know, you might retain 10% of those people because they forgot that they followed you or something, you know?
Yeah. And in fact, I had like a shorts, YouTube shorts, kind of go a little bit viral or whatever. Not viral. It wasn't like 1 million or whatever, but like, I don't know. I forget what it was, like 75,000 views or something in like 2 days. And like all of a sudden I picked up 250 subscribers, which out of like that amount of views isn't much. And then like instantly, like the next day I dropped like 200 subscribers. So I was like only like a net gain of 50. And you like think of like, it was like 75,000 views, I think, for that one short. And I was like, all of those views, and I got 50. I mean, it was like,
and you got 100 likes out of 75,000 people watching it. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah, so I stopped doing the shorts and stuff too after that. I was just kind of playing with them for a minute, and I was like, you know, that's just not my style anyway. So I just, whatever.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Yeah, screw it. I'll just be me. Fuck them.
Exactly.
If no matter who you are, if you are doing what you're doing and you stay consistent and you stay dedicated, over time, your following will be huge.
Yeah.
It will be, or at least big. I don't know about huge, but it'll be big and it'll be organic. And that's something that's like awesome. And it just comes with time.
I agree with all that, and I think that's the most rewarding part of it, and that's why like I say it a lot though. Like I got to where I'm at without doing giveaways, and I'm not knocking people that did giveaways. I'm proud of the fact that I'm where I'm at by just the way I did it, just organic, you know, the whole way. I did do one giveaway on YouTube for a shirt at 500 subscribers, but I mean like. I don't know. If you want to count that one against me, go ahead. But that was I don't want none of those. Orgasmatron. How about that one?
Yeah. Oh, man.
EAD, Chad. EAD, brother.
Yeah, dude. No, you can just tell him to eat a dick. It's all right. All right. What is that? Oh, yeah. So what projects are you working other than? Because I know you're in Gstripe.
Genetic Stripe Clown.
Puzzle. All right. Oh, okay. Got you. All right. Just fucking hit me in the teeth with a baseball bat. Damn, bro.
Yeah, that's the main
That was hard as fuck. Hell yeah. No, that's good shit.
The other shit I got going though, I got rid of a few puzzles. I held on to a couple, but I'm just gonna kind of hang out on the puzzle because I got too much going on. I have to stay a little bit focused. So I got a Gstripe Clown. I got Hypo DG stuff growing up. So those are my 2 double recessives. My wife's doing like pies, and there's some like dreamsicle stuff going on with that. And I got my sunset stuff growing up. I think my sunset stuff will be breeding 2022. So
All right.
woo, come out swinging with that shit. You know.
Fuck
Nice.
yeah.
So you're working about 7 recessive projects, 8 if you count puzzle then, right?
Yeah, puzzle's just there kind of waiting. I got a visual puzzle and then I got a hypo puzzle. So I got those 2 girls just kind of hanging out.
Yeah. Okay.
I get you. Yeah. And about how many?
No real plans for them right now. They're just kind of hanging. Yeah.
About how big is your collection? Would you say?
I'm like just over 100 altogether.
Okay.
So yeah, not real big. I sold close to like 10 animals before I left California because I figured like if I was gonna thin the herd, that was gonna be the time. You know what I mean? If I was looking in racks and I was like, yeah, I'm not really loving it, I just sold it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
100%. That is awesome.
Are you trying to go full time, or is this your retirement plan, or what's the deal?
Definitely a retirement plan, but if it turned in full time before then, yeah, I'm game with it.
Fuck yeah, bro. That's
Very
what I'm
awesome.
talking about. Damn, I can't wait to come and fucking visit, dude.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I'm fucking pumped, bro.
So yeah, I mean, I just plan on just keep kind of like the Aussie method, just keep upgrading and honing everything down as I go.
That's literally what I've always done.
Yeah.
It only made sense in my head, right? Like, because I only want to produce 100 clutches a year, like, because I'm a one-man show, right?
Right.
So that I know for me that's doable, but I want, if all of those 100 clutches could be worth $5 to $10 grand, that's what's up.
Yeah.
And that's what the genetic upgrade will take you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, keep increasing your clutch value as you go on and stuff. So
100%.
Yeah, dude, the more genes.
And that's about our goal too. Now I want to be, it's me and Kyle both doing them. We also have a couple employees that come over now too. So we're hoping to settle off around the 200, 250 range at some point. But it just won't be at this location. We're gonna have to move out of here because I'm at 26 clutches this year, and I'm gonna already have to be putting racks, like hatchling racks outside the room and stuff. Yeah. I just don't have the space.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's kind of like my deal is why I just kind of want to keep refining stuff as I go. I mean, I can definitely. I mean, my wife isn't much help, I don't know if she's listening tonight, but I mean, she's kind of a snake hoarder too. It's like, oh, we just got to keep that one. I'm like, we don't need it. Yeah, but it looks pretty. We just got to keep it. I'm like,
that's me.
Okay, I mean, whatever keeps you involved. All right. Well,
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, right. Happy wife, happy life.
Yes.
Happy wife, happy life, man. I mean,
Yeah,
it's real. So like, okay, I guess we're keeping that one, even though we don't need it. So whatever.
The best part, I did that for real. I really did do that for like my first 3 years. I hoarded a lot. And what that taught me is if I'm ever on the fence, it's better to keep it and grow it up a little, because if you sell it, you can't get it back, right? But you always have that there, that if you ever need money or it's like, okay, I'm ready to part with it. It has more size on it. It's worth more. If you have it, it's breeding size. Might as well prove it. So now you have a proven breeder for sale, right? So I think it's always better to keep it for a little bit at least.
And that's something that Jimmy Cruz taught me, because he was kind of like my neighbor where I used to live. And that's something he taught me is like, when in doubt, just hold it back, grow it up. It's just going to gain value. And like you said, if you make a breeder out of it, then you sell it as a proven breeder. She's only gained in value. So,
yep.
Yeah,
Now,
dude.
there's never any harm in holding on to something, you know. And not only that, you know, how many times have you guys had, like, come spring, people right before the season starts, people looking for snakes that are like, I just want to buy something, or I need this, or I need that, you know, instead of having people where there's abundance of stuff available, so they're like asking, oh, you take $100-$200 off that, you know, because these 10 guys have the same, you know, have a similar animal. Now they're like, when it's the only one on the market, what you're asking for it doesn't seem as bad, you know?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, there was that one. Well, like you said, there was that time of year. Like, I was getting a lot of inquiry for like proven breeders and stuff, and I was like, man, I actually barely got started. I don't have like a surplus of breeders. Like, you're barking up the wrong tree, you know?
Yep.
I did too.
You know, I'm taking a couple proven breeder girls to Schaumburg, and you know, if they don't sell, they don't sell. I don't need to get rid of them. I don't necessarily want to get rid of them. And a lot of people come this time of year because they've laid, they're back on food, you know, and they'll want to make a deal. And I'm like, you know what? I'll hold on to it because come next season, at the beginning of the season, when people really want something to breed, they're going to pay $150 more than what I was asking for it this weekend, because they just want something that's ready to breed now, you know? Right. So there's definitely, you'll notice a time of year, because even breeder males have a time of the year where people are in high demand, you know?
Yeah.
Because they sold that male last year and they bred up this male, and then they power fed it and it made it to weight, but it's not locking and they need something.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to take that next breeder male. Whereas if you try to sell them, you know, even like later in the summer, people are like, oh, no, I'm not pairing. I don't need anything, nothing, you know. There's definitely seasons for everything.
Tax season.
And that was probably like the most valuable lesson I learned in my first season was everyone said buy females. So I was like gung-ho on females, and then I'm breeding and like I didn't have no backup males or anything, and guys are going off food, and males didn't want to lock, and I was like, so now I'm kind of like conserving males. I'm like, oh no, I'm keeping males. Like, I don't care. I have a disco pied project, and I held 5 of those things back. I'm like, I just held 5. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm not going to go without a male ever again. You know what I mean? Like, that's not going to happen to me. So like, I have first, second, third, fourth string. Like, we're
I'm the same way, dude. I'm the same way.
I've never had more than, I think, like 19 males has been my max. I just went through my racks for males I held back from last year that'll be ready to go in 2022. I was starting to do a rough draft of like my 2022 pairings. And I think I ended up having like 44 males. And I'm like, holy crap. I've never had this many males in my life. But I'm literally replacing all of the males I already have. Like, I made something better to upgrade my males with. Yeah. And so, but I'm not willing to let go of those proven breeders for my yearling males until I know my yearling males are going to be locking in October, November, January. So I literally have twice as many males as what I should have, because I'm literally running through everything. And so I did decide to let a few go. Going to be taking them to Schaumburg. But yeah, I was like, holy crap, I have 44 males and 64 pairings. This doesn't add up.
That ain't right.
Well, yeah, man, I had a red stripe clown that wanted to do nothing for me my first year. And he was supposed to be the all-star. And even now I got him paired up to a bunch of girls, but they're still like, he's still kind of shy. Like, I have these 2 big girls that he won't touch. Like, he's a bigger male now too, because he didn't do nothing the first year, so all he did was eat. And he's still scared of the bigger girls. I'm like, I don't know, whatever, man. I just whatever.
It happens. It's. I had a lavender boy last year. He's a lavender double het genetic stripe pied, and he was 880 grams and would not lock with anything. 2 years old, you know, just wouldn't. And now this year he's done great. I think I've gotten 6 clutches out of him this year. You know, I put him in, he'd lock with anything. So It's just because they're up to size, just because they're up to age, does not mean that they're gonna do their thing, you know. But after just wholesale 10 breeder males. But after this season, if my yearling males do their job and start locking for me, I'm gonna have like, I don't know, 25 of those 44 males are out the door, and I'll be back down to my normal 18 to 19 breeder males, you know, and that'll be a good ratio. But I'm not willing to let go of them until I know that those young males are gonna do what they need to do. Because
I'm the same way.
Nothing worse than scrambling for a breeder male.
Yeah,
because a lot of times they're not out there when you need them anyway.
Yeah, I'm heading to that same direction that you're doing. I got this group of powerhouse males that I bought and produced that are growing up. Yep. But like, I ain't letting go of these guys that are working yet until I know these guys will work.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So I'm in the same boat, but you know, whatever.
It can break a season very quickly.
Yeah.
I had to run out and ended up buying a blade clown male, which is like not that high up, you know, but that was the only thing available at the time. And I had to buy that to do my clown work because the red stripe clown wasn't doing nothing.
Oh, gotcha. Man.
But I had the Batmans and all that stuff from that blade clown, so I mean, he did his job.
Yeah.
No, you made a good investment
my season would have been crap, you know?
Yeah, you made a great investment choice.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So what's your like favorite project that you're working with right now? Like what are you really pushing towards?
Genetic stripe clowns. I'm building double heads. I'm building an army. That's all I'm gonna do for a while.
That's awesome.
And then like I have pieds and stuff going. That's like for my wife, and that'll probably be like the stuff I'm selling, it's like pieds and whatever, some clown stuff or whatever. But like in the background, I'm just building an army.
That is so awesome.
You said you saw they had genetic stripe when you were in before, right? And then you got out and you're like, oh, now this is worth pennies compared to So you really like the Gstripe project? That's like your
I love genetic
favorite thing. So what? Okay, so it's starting to really pick up steam from what I've been seeing and hearing. So in your opinion, what is the future of genetic stripe?
Well, definitely adding it to clown changes both of those totally.
Yes.
Totally. And then as far as genetic stripe by itself, man, I mean, leopard definitely did some good stuff with Garrick DeMeyer, the leopard and stuff. And I like anything that's hypo G stripe too. I mean, they just pop together.
DG too.
Yeah, and then DG. And I seen the acid genetic stripe that looked pretty good too. And so I think, either way, I think that genetic stripe was just abandoned too soon,
Yeah.
And when I first got back in, people were telling me, oh, leave genetic stripe alone, all that. You never get your money back, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, fuck you guys. I like it, man. Because I seen a video of Justin showing G-stripe clowns. I'm like, that's the future right there of that whole project right there, because it changes the pattern totally on both of them. So I started going that way then, and then people are already like, oh, no, you shouldn't do that. That's stupid. And then all of a sudden, Justin and Ozzy both, like, dropped their shit at the same time. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, G-stripe clowns. I'm like, oh, yeah, now everyone likes them.
Yeah. It's really funny because I got the same go-around with hypopides. I brought into the hypopide project probably 4 or 5 years ago now. And just started out like a couple double het girls, and then I had like a pastel hypo het pied and a pastel pied het hypo. Like that's what I started with. And I got so much shit for working hypo and then working hypopides. They're like, man, that project's dead. No one wants hypo. It's stupid. No one likes it. And then probably a year and a half ago now, Ozzy started dropping hypos and hypopides and all this stuff. And it went through the market. Now I got people beating down my door for shit they told me 5 years ago that I was going to lose all my money on,
Yeah, dude. Yep.
Yeah. So when they say, like, go with what you like and everything, that's
great. Yeah, dude.
If I would have listened to everyone in the beginning when I was first building my collection, I'd have a totally different collection and I'd be unhappy. So
you got to get what you like. And I mean,
100%.
it was the same thing. I bought a Desert Ghost in 2014, and the
Yeah.
girl I was dating was like, "That's not. I'll never forget this shit. That's not even a popular morph." Like, bitch, fuck you, fuck you. Like, I'll never even forget that shit ever. But I liked it, and it was a single gene male Desert Ghost. He had some size on him. I started breeding them, and now everyone hits me up like, "What's up? Got DG?" And I'm like, "I got racks of DG, but none of it's for sale."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuckers.
Well, it's funny that you say that, Jerome, because I got a new mail coming in where I'm going to have Inchy and Hypo and DG and everything, buddy. So
Ooh. Ooh, we might have to talk about that, Shane.
They had that shit at they had one of those at Arlington. Who the fuck was that? Liz at Arlington. He's right there. He's right there by Josh Jackie and Bob Vu. That corner with all the DG stuff. Why do I think Stewart?
Is it Steve? Was it Steve's morph?
Steve's morph. There you
Yeah.
go. I knew it was a fucking S.
Yeah.
He had all that shit there, Shane, and the heads and everything. He had some badass DG hypo combos.
I think he does shows over there in my neck of the woods too, Steve Ford.
Yeah, he does. So
Yeah, I bought some stuff off Steve's morphs. Oh man, years ago. I got a pastel vanilla hypo off of him and like a firefly calico. He's got some nice stuff for sure.
yeah, he got nice shit.
What's up, Kenny?
Yeah. Brandon's comment fighting me over here.
I know, right?
But
So, yeah. G-Stripe Clown, that's where my passion lies. So that's what that'll be going in the background this whole time, even though I'll be doing other shit. That's like my main deal.
awesome.
All right.
Awesome.
So check this out. We're gonna play a game.
All right.
Here's what we're gonna do. Liz and I are gonna be people who don't like genetic stripe.
All right.
Okay, we're just ignorant. We don't know about G stripe. Okay, sell me a G stripe. Let's go.
Why do I need to sell you a G-Stripe though?
Sell me the
There's
G
more for
stripe.
me if I don't sell it.
Yeah, I love it. Like you don't see it, you don't want go away, be gone.
Oh no, that was a good tactic. I would have done the same shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, oh, just keep on walking then.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, someone was talking to me today about Ultramel and Monarch and shit, and how they're like, "Oh man, I don't think I'll ever get into the Monarch. I'm just gonna buy Ultramel." And I'm thinking to myself, like, "Good, don't buy into the Monarch. That's more for me, bitch."
Yeah.
Oh, it's Liz.
I know. She's just right here and she just shut out. Like I can't.
Oh wow, she's real clean, dude.
Yeah.
Real clean. Is that pastel?
Yeah.
Monarch? Yeah.
Pastel.
That's good. That looks
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Really good.
She just shut out like, I don't know, a couple hours ago. So I knew she was looking good tonight. But yeah, I like the Monarch stuff. I'm big
Yeah.
into it. It's nice. And it originated with genetic stripe. Shane, come on.
Actually,
you gotta
it
get with
did.
it.
You know, see, so genetic stripe is the bomb. I'm telling you. I mean,
Yeah.
Now G Stripe is making and Tri Stripe both are making a huge comeback.
yes.
Straight up. I'm not getting.
And I'm not anti tri-stripe. I'm just like, I'm not going to go with any tri-stripe. I'm just going to keep all my stripes with the G. You know, just stay with the G stripe. You know.
It'll be the
feel
OG stripe here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really will. Shit. Yeah, I'm not getting into anything else. Like I said, I'm a one-man show, and I really I work a lot of different. Not a lot. I have 7 different recessives, but not 7 different recessive projects. So I'm already spread as thin as I can get, and I don't want to get overwhelmed. Otherwise, I would probably invest in both the Tri-Stripe and the G-Stripe for sure.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you. I'm like,
I'm too much.
7 or 8 recessives, but not like 7 projects. But yeah, I got
Right.
a double.
That's what I'm saying.
I got a couple just hanging out. So yeah.
I'm stretched too thin on projects, man. I can't get into anything else. I gotta just hold what I got for the next like decade.
Well, something I learned, I didn't really take into account. So obviously, I'm the newest person in this room, but I didn't realize how much of my own stock I would be holding back and stuff either. Like, I don't know. I just, for some reason, that just never clicked in my head. So once I started making stuff, I was like, man, you know how much money I saved? Because look at all this cool stuff I just made.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. And I was like, I held back. I don't know if it's too many, but I was counting on like, I'll hold back 1 or 2 from every clutch. I ended up like, I don't know, fucking a whole extra rack full of holdbacks, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, that goes back to the whole, it's better to keep it now and decide you don't need it later than to sell it now and then decide later that you need it.
Yep.
Because
I learned that the hard way.
yeah, I've learned it, and it still happens. I feel like we all still have some snake every season that we have seller's regret over at some point. It just happens. But yeah, definitely. Like if I would have known now what I knew when I started producing single gene pied females and single gene clown females, like my whole thing was I don't want single gene stuff. Like I'm just gonna move it out the door and I'll buy like 2 and 3 gene clown females and stuff. Well then next thing you know, you buy that powerhouse male or you decide you need a new rack and so on and so forth. Nevertheless, you never buy your 2 to 3 gene visual clown girls, right?
Yeah.
So you find a more powerful het and you decide to buy that instead. And not that hets are bad, but nothing beats a visual girl. There's a lot you could do with it. It's like if I would have just known to hold on to, 5 single gene pied females and 5 single gene clown females, and I just had those to go through and make my double hets and my visuals and even just getting new codoms into that project, right? Like instead of wasting a 2 or 3 gene visual girl to make hets because the male you want to use isn't het clown, right? I can use a single gene female because I want black pastel mohave in my clown stuff, or I want this. You can almost waste a single gene clown female to make those hets and then pair that het to your 2 or 3 gene visual girl.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then you're not wasting a clutch on a really nice visual girl just to make hets for one season. And if I would have known that, my arsenal would be so much different. I'd have so much more, more power than what I have now.
Knowledge is power, man.
Yeah.
It really is. Knowledge really is power.
Makes a big difference.
Yeah, but I could say, well, I don't know. I'll let you know in a year or two how it worked out for me. But like, my fucking female stock is way more powerful than my male stock. Like, I totally weighted it over on the female side.
Good.
But like now, I'm like getting the males to start to match them. I'm just now getting to that point in my evolution. So hopefully, hopefully I'll be banging some stuff out here in the next couple of years.
Yeah, because those powerful girls are going to produce you more powerful. Boys.
Those girls aren't going anywhere for years. I mean, they'll be there for a long time. Males will be like come and go, but those girls will be there. So.
Oh yeah, dude.
Definitely for sure. And just I was actually just having this discussion with a buddy of mine the other day. I don't know if anyone's seen my KRG banana leopard phantom clutch that I just recently hatched out and posted.
I have not seen that one.
So got some really cool stuff out of this clutch to say the least. But the female to this clutch was just a banana mohave female. I paired a banana to a mohave spider and I got 19 eggs. This girl's a big egg layer. 19 eggs. 12 of them were banana combos, and I had a banana mohave female. Like I just got lucky, hit that. Yeah, so excited. I was like, hell yeah, I got a female. I'm keeping it. Well, most people would think of that now, like a banana mohawk female isn't that crazy. And the pairing wasn't that crazy. It was a banana male to a mohawk spider female. Real something real simple. And grew her up. She had her first season this year. She gave me 7 eggs. I bred her to a KRG Leopard Phantom Yellow Belly Pied. And got this crazy guy here.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, I got this boy, and there's a couple other nice ones. Like, I got this girl out of it.
Yeah.
And just a nice clutch, like, all together, right? Here's got a couple purple passion stuff. But my point is, you never would have thought 3 years ago that breeding a banana to a mohawk spider was going to be that big of a deal, right? That it was going to produce this female, you then bred to a male, and you got like this crazy clutch out of it. So, I always tell people, don't say, oh, it's just an Inchy to a pastel clown, or it's just, a banana to a pastave, right? Because if you got the right ingredients, sometimes those 2 and 3 gene females or even males, if you have powerful girls, right? If you put the right stuff together, you can still make some pretty crazy stuff, so don't ever be like, oh man, my clutch isn't worth that much, because a lot of times holding on to that stuff is worth it.
Yeah, you gotta think.
I agree. I hit a female banana, black pastel. It's just a female banana, but like, man, she'll be making males that are female makers. And what if those are het clowns or het genetic stripes or whatever direction I choose to go with her? But but that was like just the codom pairing, like people say.
Exactly.
A bunch of those 2 or 3 of those codom type pairings bought me a second freedom breeder rack too.
Yep.
All them banana babies bought me another freedom breeder rack. So
man.
Yeah. They don't all have to be like these clutches that you say the pairing and people are like, whoa, oh my god, that's insane. And even just starting out small, right? And then you build for 3 years and you hold back these really nice ingredient females and you have the right male to go with it, man, you can still make some nice stuff, even if it is just a 2 gene or 3 gene female, or and obviously if you've got powerful girls, it makes a big difference for sure. But you can have power where you don't see it, and I think that a lot of people miss those big opportunities by just looking at a piece of paper going, adds a 2 gene female, I don't really care, I'll throw it to something. It's like sometimes those are the ones that surprise you the most.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's the male too, like so if I ever held back like every female I ever made, I'd have so many fucking clutches. Right now, right? That's like still, there's no other industry. Like you can buy a house, right? For example, and over time, sure, with inflation and everything, that you'll gain the positive equity. But a female snake can give you eggs full of snakes that over time also gain value, and it's very repetitive, right? So holding back, the 2 gene female, I have a GHI Mojave, right? Just because I bought one a long time ago. It's a girl. Thought it looked fucking cool. It's the only one I could find, and it was a girl. And she just gave me a clutch like 2 days ago or yesterday or something. And it was like, she was bred to a Spectre Harlequin Pastel Orange Dream. So a 4 gene male, no recessives, nothing crazy. But the 8 eggs that I got from her, I know all those are going to be probably 2 gene combos in that good price range. They're all gonna sell. And Shannon, like you said, Shannon will buy me another big metal rack that I need to expand my collection.
No, I agree, and there's people out there that kind of mentor me, and they're kind of like they're light years ahead of me though. They're like, oh no, you should focus on like the more powerful stuff. Well, I mean, yeah, maybe at some point I will, but like my buddy Jimmy Crease said, they don't all have to be home runs, man. Get some base hits and just keep getting the base hits will win the game sometimes too, you know? So
absolutely.
Yeah. And I think there's something to be said too, especially when you're starting out, to be able to offer something in both markets.
Yeah,
you're going to have your local pet people that or maybe even new breeders, new hobbyists that are just kind of getting into it, and maybe they're willing to spend $500 on a snake, right? But they're not going to jump head first spending $5,000 or $3,000. You know, it's just you've got to have some of that intermediate stuff. And I also find a lot of times, and yes, a lot of my higher dollar customers are returning customers as well. But man, I'll tell you what, I can sell a new person getting into the hobby some $300 to $400 animals. Very easily, they'll buy 6, 7, 8, 9 animals off of me just to build up their breeding stock before I get another purchase of a $2,000 to $4,000 animal, right? Because yes, not necessarily because this person didn't like doing business with me, but the people looking for animals of that value are looking for something very specific. They have genes in mind that they want, and they're going to kind of go to their group of people, and whoever has it. But we're not all going to have that same animal, right? You know, it's going to be specific. But those 500, there's, I would even say like $200 to $700 animals. They're probably not super hard to find. There's probably a handful of them out there at any given moment for the most part. But, those return customers are going to come to you because, one, they've done business with you. They know your animals. You're probably helping them by answering questions and making sure that they're not getting, how many people do you have that probably send you a message saying they're like, hey, it's a buddy of yours. They're like, hey, man, I'm looking at this snake from so-and-so. What do you know about them? Or does this snake look like what they're advertising it as, right? Yeah. And I don't see inchy in this, or I don't see pastel. Can you explain to me not have it?
I get that a lot.
Why am I missing it, right? Maybe they're not looking for the right markers or the right features to be a specific gene. And yet, I guess it's more work, but I enjoy that part of the industry. Like, I like bringing new people up and helping them figure things out. But, that if they buy 10 $400 snakes, that's $4,000, real quick.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And, I like helping new people come in and stuff too. And like you said, a lot of them end up being repeat customers. And I mean, it's like not a secret with me. Like, if you're coming back to me over and over again, like, I definitely give a good discount to like repeat buyers. You know what I mean?
100%.
It's on Morph Market for $400, man. Like, you're not paying that with me because you've been here 5 times already.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, I have like clientele. Like my clutches, like I don't even put it all on social media sometimes, just because I know I'll have like 1 or 2 dudes alone who will buy a clutch.
Right.
Like and they're always the same people. Just like you said, Shane, I hook them up because they've been buying from me consistently for like 6 years. And I just got a group of people and they're just like, what do you got coming? When? And I give them the time frame and they hit me up during that time frame, and whatever I don't hold back is on the market.
Yeah, I've got people that I tell, like, don't wait for my stuff to go on Morph Market because I post everything right when it sheds. And, people message me saying, I want this or I want that. I got people that work for us, and they pretty much get first dibs because they get to see this stuff when it comes out of the egg, So I've got animals before they even shed that are technically sold. I don't take a payment or anything on them until they're feeding and stuff, but, they've got first choice or first pick when it comes, the animal's ready to go. And it's definitely a networking amongst breeders, but you also have to remember your clientele too.
Yeah, for sure.
So speaking of clientele, this is a little off script, but I'm curious because you said, Shane, you've been interacting with a lot of beaded lizard people. right?
Yeah, just on social media, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, what are you doing with the beaded lizard? Do you have is that a pet? Is that just a pet?
just a pet. Yeah,
I thought
just
so.
a pet.
Yeah.
Well, I have some crazy hybrid ideas for him, but I don't know. I don't want to, people. Some people take that as like blasphemy and stuff. So whatever.
Yeah, I know. But I mean,
But,
if it's possible, it's possible.
Yeah, I have no plans. It was just always supposed to be kind of like a pet mascot. What's up, Troy? Yeah, it's really cool. I really like him. He's like a cool ball python with legs, basically. I mean, he don't do much, but when he does, he comes out and crunches a rat down, and he likes to eat. He loves to eat the hognose slugs.
Yeah.
He's not full grown yet, so like he can't get a ball python slug yet. But yeah, like the hognose slugs, he chomps those down like M&Ms, man. So yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, just a cool pet to have around.
How's his temperament? Like, are they pretty chill or?
For the most part, but like a little cage defensive, and then when you get them out, that kind of goes away. But
yep,
they're kind of deceiving because they're like so slow. Like you think dirt, and then like you get by its head though, it's fast right there. Like that little
little window, yeah, right.
It's fast right there. So just watch it. But my wife supposedly hates him, but she walks like when we have a Ring camera in there, so I'll go see and she'll be in there. She'll be like, "Hi, Pebbles, how you doing?"
I love it.
I love that, dude.
We have a Asian water monitor that actually got dropped off on our table at a show, just given to us, pretty much relinquished.
Yeah.
And he's kind of turned into our little mascot. And I hate to say it, but his favorite snack is like snakes, like hatchlings, and we'll get hatchlings that are either stillborn or have issues or kinks or whatever, and that is his favorite thing. Like he just sits and waits. He gets so excited, and it's like, I'm glad that nothing goes to waste.
Yeah.
But you also am like, obviously it's unfortunate for the ball python, but I just find it funny that like the least favorite thing and the thing we have the least often is his like big prize when he gets one. So
yeah. How big is your water monitor now?
He's probably pushing 3 feet, not including his tail.
All right.
Yeah, so he's getting pretty big. Yeah, he's a big boy. He's just like a puppy dog, though. I mean, I'll take him upstairs and like sit in bed and watch TV, and he'll lay like along my legs, and he'll turn and like put his head, like his chin on my leg, and lay there. Like your dogs, they'll just put rest their head on you or whatever. Yeah, I mean, 100% like a giant puppy dog. It is. He's awesome.
That's cool.
But still growing. We were worried for a while because when we got him, he was tiny. I mean, probably about 18 inches. Just didn't grow, and now he's just kind of like nonstop. He's just like growing super. Yeah, and we had no information on how old he was or anything, so our vet was kind of like, well, he might be stunted, like he might never get big, but he's growing pretty steadily now and doing pretty well. So we're hopeful that he's not going to be too much on the small side.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah, man, you want one of them motherfuckers? Like, if you get one of those, you want it to get big as shit, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when someone sees a berm, they want a fucking berm. They want an apartment snake.
Yeah.
They want a fucking berm, man.
Yeah, we're in the middle of making like a almost 1,500 gallon pond in our basement. Yeah, it's like an 8x10 room. And the whole floor is going to be water, and then it's got an 8-foot acrylic wall with like sliding glass doors. You can see straight into the pond.
Oh, cool.
It's going to be pretty cool, but that's like they say it a lot about horses. I don't know if anyone here has experience with them, but it's like, the most expensive horse you'll ever get is a free one because they tend to come with lots of issues and stuff.
Yeah.
And I got a free Asian water monitor, but I'm gonna spend like probably about $12,000 on this enclosure, for him. So,
man,
he was an expensive free pet.
Dude, that's what I did. There was this girl. her and her boyfriend would buy feeders off me. So she comes in and she worked at a local pet shop, and she says, "Hey, I have something here. I want to know if you want it." So she opens up this box. It's a little blue tongue skink, dude. And I was like, "Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Love you too. Love you, Troy. You're the fucking best." Anyways, so I get this free animal. It's like $350 normally. And then I went and spent $900 on its enclosure. I got the big custom PVC enclosure from like cages.com that's dual vented, double light fixture plus belly heat on one side, sliding acrylic doors that lock, all that bullshit. And that skink's living its best life. I got it for free. For free, dude. Fucking.
So, do you have any plans, Shane, of branching out like into any other species? I know you got your hog noses. Are you guys sticking with the ball pythons and hogs, or are you like any plans near or distant future to get into some other stuff?
Well, definitely always ball pythons. That's like number one, and then hogs. This is kind of like our trial year because I've heard horror stories about getting the hatchlings feeding, but if we seem to get that system down, we'll probably still stay with the hogs going for a while. And then my boys are really into the leopard geckos. In fact, they've hatched a few out, and then they've used that money to invest in another breeder female leopard gecko. So yeah, my little boys got their own little enterprise going on there. So
all right.
That's awesome.
Shit, maybe they'll take over Small Town Xotics when you really are old as fuck.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully I need somebody, but yeah. So I like the hoggies, but like I said, I remember when I got them as hatchlings, I did have some trouble getting some of them to eat. So I mean, we'll just see how that goes. I would like to stay with the hog nose though, because they're just they're like the complete opposite of ball pythons, and that's why I like them. Because like you got you got these crazy derpy things that crawl backwards and try to eat themselves, and it's just fun having them around.
I always love little shovel-faced worms.
Yes.
Like that's I'm definitely getting into hogs after I move. If you have any trouble though, Shane, I know that Tom Harbin's not far from you, and he breeds some badass hogs, man. Like I'm probably gonna go to him here pretty soon with a solid chunk of investment money for my hog breeding stock.
Yeah.
Yeah, some nice shit. But what do you got as far as hogs?
I got a snow mal, which he's a pretty cool looking one. He looks like a girl because he's pink and purple, but he's a boy.
Yeah, the snows are nice, man.
Yeah.
And hogs.
And then I got a Superconda albino, an albino Superconda male. Then I got some like a red head albino female, an Arctic anaconda head albino female, and then I got just a head exanthic female too. So
nice. It's just like a nice little collection of some nice stuff.
I'm seeing right now I got 2 clutches on the ground, and I'm seeing if those girls are going to double clutch to see if that part's accurate.
Oh man, I forgot that they can double clutch because
some
they're
do.
That's why I was starting to build that collection, and then I started finding out how much eggs they lay and that they could double clutch, and I was like, oh, pump the brakes on this, bar.
Yes.
So two clutches is 28 eggs in my incubator right now. So I was like,
wow.
Man.
And so we're still waiting on the third female. She's a little smaller than the rest of those, so she might not go this year. But like brumating them, I thought, well, it kind of flipped me out the first time. But then once I started doing it, I was like, this is great because it's like a snake vacation. Like I don't have to deal with them.
You don't have to,
It's just like a vacation from them, That's really cool. Then I'm kind of like happy to see them when they come out, and they come out, they're a little derpy,
Yeah, dude. No, that's
awesome.
I love hogs. I do. I think I'm really starting to find that I have a big love for colubrids. Like I always thought Mexican black kings are cool, but I'm really starting to like see some really pretty garter snakes and some pretty rat snakes and really nice kings and corns, and like every year everyone's finding morphs for all these different species, and it's crazy.
It's almost like colubrids are hitting like the ball python peak.
Yeah,
right? Like when all these new stuff in ball pythons, and I know we're still finding, like, I guess, every once in a while people get little stuff, but there's a good run there where like every year there was 10 to 15 more morphs coming in, and it seems like colubrids are now hitting that mark where like every year there's something new and crazy coming out,
especially in hogs.
Dude, I mean, the hog market's every bit as crazy as ball pythons. Like, wise and all that. Like, you start getting into it, you're like, oh, had no idea that they would cost that much, But
yeah, you can keep. They're way smaller than balls, so like keeping them, you can keep more of them in like the same, space.
I have the whole collection of them, and I have leopard geckos and stuff too, all in a sea serpent combo rack. The one that has the 35 talls and the 35 shorts.
And then, it goes from big to little.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. Go in there. They're fine.
Yeah, that's the best quarantine rack, in my opinion, out there on the market, is that particular sea serpent rack, because you can house like anything in it at all. It's fucking perfect.
Yeah, we keep everything that's not ball pythons is in there. So we have the hognose, the leopard geckos, the leopard gecko babies. Yep. They're all in there because they all stay at like a little bit lower temperature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then I have a little sea serpent, the 24-inch incubator. That's just for hognose and leopard gecko eggs too. So
because they incubate,
Yeah. Damn. What's the incubation? It's short for hogs, right? Really short.
Well, I mean, the temperature is very pretty considerable. I mean, you can incubate them at 80 degrees and they'll just take longer, or you can get them up to ball python temps too. But I'm just putting them in with the leopard geckos at like 82 and just letting them stay there. So we'll see how long that is. So should be less than 55 days is what I've been told. I'm still waiting on that though. I should be, I don't know. They're due pretty soon though.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
I'm the end of June, and then I got some like in the beginning of July that are due as well. So
awesome. Okay. Well, hope those go. And what'd you say the pairings were on those two?
God, who laid? So one's just going to be Xanthics that are het for albino, so they'll be het snow or double het snow, and then the other one's going to be everything's going to be anaconda. So it's super conda albino to a red het albino. So like the line bred trait. Red.
Right. Yep.
So
nice. I love the condas and super condas.
Like, me too.
I really like it. I really do.
I like super
because I like the super condas because they're like patternless, but that looks like they got flames on their head. And
I always say it looks like they're wearing a Lucha Libre mask.
Yeah,
they're wearing a fucking luchador mask, man.
Yeah,
they're very cool. I like the Arctics too. Yeah, those are super nice.
Yeah, Tom had a Yeti, which I think is an Xanthic albino super Arctic at a grapevine show at Herps.
Okay.
Actually, when I went to Grapevine a while back, and I was like, holy shit. And so like I went to Tom's table when he had his balls and his hogs. I do one lap around the show, talk to Brandon Coleman and Brandon Milam and Kevin Fink and all the dudes I knew that were there. And then by the time I came back around to Tom Harbin's table, all the hogs except for that Yeti was gone.
Yeah.
And it was a female, and I looked at it and I was like, $3,000. I can swing it, but I don't know shit about the hog market. I could keep one alive. And now I'm kicking myself in the ass for not buying it.
Man, I wanted to buy into hogs about 3 years ago, but in the state of Illinois, you have to have a USDA license in order to have hog noses. And then if you want to breed them, you have to keep record of every clutch, every egg, every female, all on paper, all on record through USDA filing.
That's
And then
ridiculous.
anyone that you sell to, you have to have their name, phone number, and address for 5 years. And if they sell that animal, they have to call you and tell you who they sold it to. And then you have to get that person's information. And if they ever come back to you as a breeder and they want to audit you for your USDA license, and they call someone on that list and they don't have that snake and you don't have updated information of where it went, you get the fine. Like and I was just like, man, yeah, too much. Like,
Fuck that.
So maybe now I'm kind of kicking myself in the butt because back then the hog market was like nothing. Like you could buy a hog nose all day, every day for like $100, $200. You know, they really weren't worth that much. They were kind of new and people weren't really working with them. And I was just like, man, I don't know if it's really worth it. Now I'm kind of kicking myself in the butt for it, but we're hoping to move out of Illinois and then we'll probably jump into it. But I'm just like, I'm not down with all that paperwork. Like I have all that personally for me.
Yeah.
But I don't want to have to go through it all.
Yeah,
legally,
and be held accountable for other people's actions.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. And in my opinion, that puts everything else at jeopardy too, right? Because technically, if you get something like that, it's a USDA violation. They could come in on the balls and the boas and all.
It's all under one business.
Yeah.
So yeah, your business would suffer.
But they're cool.
Like when we started buying our hogs too, like my wife just wanted a couple for like her little project, and then something I noticed at the California shows was like they were really hard to come by, and I was like, man, there's a gap that needs to be filled here. So let's kind of grow these up and see where it goes. So now we're like kind of at that stage right now. But I guess, like I said, Alyssa was telling me that her hogs sell really quick.
Yeah, everyone's. Yeah, I got a local dude here. He breeds gargoyle geckos, ball pythons, and hognose. And I think he came to a herp show, and he had more hogs at his table than anything else. He had over 60 hogs. They were all gone in the first 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Over 60 hognose at the show the first day.
Yeah.
Half hour. So over 60 snakes were gone.
That's crazy.
I was like, Dave, what the hell, bro? He's like, well, one guy came and wanted to buy everything that was albino or het, and then another guy came and wanted to buy everything that was Evans hypo, and then so on and so forth. And I was like, damn, what the fuck? That's crazy, dude.
And they got a bunch of names for their combos too. Like I have a whole list that my hognose buddy sent me. Like I was looking at him when he said Yeti. I'm like, okay, that's albino, exanthic, conda. But it's literally like a whole giant list of their combo names.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm like, why can't we just call it by what's in there? You know what I mean?
Dude.
Like, oh yeah, you got the toffee glow, the solar flare, the super daddy, and all this stuff. I'm like, man, just tell me what's in there.
Yeah, dude.
I feel like we would feel that way if we made a list of ball pythons, though, because you have like the Gotham and the Batman and the Magma and the Pompeii and even like Pastave and Firefly and True Ghost and it goes on.
Not to mention the stuff that's like double named and shit too. Then you get into that.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, Calico, sugar, white cider, bubble gum.
Yeah.
All that bullshit. Fuck all that.
Yeah, it just goes crazy sometimes.
So, all right, Shane, you've been like really hardcore consistent on social media for a long time. Like you have like never fell off. You grind hard as fuck. So what sort of like mindset do people need to have to not only stay as consistent as you, but as relevant as you? Because people, it seems like they could stay consistent for a pretty long time, but staying relevant seems to be an issue as well. So what's the mindset, the method behind your madness and the way your brain works as in regards to that in social media?
Well, I don't know, man. That's like, there's the passion, you know, the P word. Let's get into the passion. But it's just, man, I mean, champions make adjustments, not excuses. And that's what it boils down to. So, like, nobody can be there to hold your hand and push you except for you. So, like, if you want it, like, it's something that it's a priority to me. That's why I wake up every morning. And, like, I've said this a million times throughout whatever's is, like, I always wake up an hour earlier than I have to just to start my social media rounds and start making posts and start interacting.
Yeah.
And then once I'm done with that, then I brush my teeth, I get ready for work, and blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? And, like, so that's just kind of like an example of what it takes for me. I don't know what it takes for other people, but that's how my routine looks like, you know? And like we kind of covered earlier, like everything I've done is just through elbow grease, you know, just through hard work. So I don't know any secret hashtags or giveaway things or none of that shit. Just to stay consistent. And you know, I mean, times and stuff do matter, but like not as much as people would have you think. So.
Yeah. What about relevancy? How do you stay relevant?
I don't know. That would probably just be from passion.
Yeah, you think so?
I think so.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if you're just turning out bullshit that you don't believe in, then it's not going to be really relevant, you know?
Yeah, it's going to be half-assed bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. My girlfriend will be like, I know you love snakes because we'll be talking about something that has nothing to do with snakes. Then somehow it becomes about fucking snakes. And she'll just, like, we'll be talking about fucking, like, what we have for dinner. And then all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, so I got to put this fucking double head to this other fucking thing. And she's like, okay. And I know she doesn't give a fuck. But what? She humors me and she'll listen to me babble on about my pairings in the future and all that bullshit. But yeah, no, that's absolutely it because it's always on your mind. I remember when you were putting your, what was that, the watermark in the water bowl of the fucking the freedom breeder tub, and there's all of your photos like that. Yeah, and it's just getting creative. You know what I mean? Like that was like signature small town. Like, oh, there's Shane. Like I know exactly what that is, who that is.
And then I stopped using watermarks, and then somebody's using one of my videos and trying to sell my snake. And I'm like, man, maybe I need to go back to watermarks, you know? But
that's why I use one. My shit got stolen a couple times. People have taken my pictures and tried to sell.
You know what got me out of that, though, is the guy calls me a rat and then blocks me. I'm like, I'm the rat. Like, you're the fucking...
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I saw that on your story.
Yeah.
You took the screen recording. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? Look at this fucking asshole.
Yeah. Yeah, but he even has a website and everything. And he's got stuff mislabeled and misspelled on there. And then it's like a contact now quick button, and it tries to shoot you over to the WhatsApp, which I don't have WhatsApp.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a whole scam, you know. But
easy. I can't remember who it is, but there was someone recently who was stealing like logos and saying that they were making the logos for the reptile people, you know, and stuff, and they were stealing other artists' work. Yeah, I'll have to. I don't know, Max, David, you guys are still in here. I don't know if you remember the name, but I went and, you know, was looking at his stuff, and he was stealing artists' work with their, like, watermark across the front of it, you know, like, throughout the whole picture. And I'm like, it has their watermark still on it, and you're posting it and being like, just made this logo for, you know, whatever the company was and stuff, you know, and obviously not tagging them in it. That's always like my first thing, right? You know, it's like, especially if you're saying like, this is a logo I'm making for so-and-so, well then why aren't you tagging them in the post so that they can, you know,
so they can share it.
If you're stealing, the logo. But yeah, it's just like some people are so blatant about it. It's crazy, you know, like I've had people steal my stuff with my watermark right on my picture, and I don't even watermark my purple door anymore because anyone who sees it is like, that's Liz's purple door. And I've had people send me where they've got snakes of mine posted on a for sale ad, you know, and it's like, there's 10 people commenting going, I know this is Royal Reptiles picture because it's the purple, like, it's the purple, you know?
Yeah.
It's just,
I don't even think the watermarks, like you said, really slow people down anymore, you know? And I mean, depending on where you put the watermark too, I mean, you might be able to crop it out or fucking cover it with something else or whatever.
You almost have to put it on or in the middle of the snake, you know, but there's so many editing stuff now. Like I use PicMonkey. It's $12.99 a month, you know, and I can go in there and remove backgrounds and erase and do color fill and all kinds of stuff. You know, it's easy almost now, unfortunately, to get around that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's pretty nuts how easy it is to go in, and especially if you put it like if you have a hand picture and you got the snake, you know, Shane, I used some of yours for the story, whatever, your watermarks in the bottom. I just go in there, click remove background. It takes everything out but the hand and the snake, you know. If I was trying to steal that picture, I'd just slap it on a filtered background, right? Like take a picture of my room, slap it on there, and you'd be none the wiser. It's just it's unfortunate that, you know, we have to deal with that kind of stuff in the community.
Yeah.
At all.
I mean, I try to help out where I can to expose stuff, but I mean, it's really up to the buyer to educate themselves and do a little bit of research before they go sending people money. I mean, it sucks, but I mean, it is what it is, you know?
Well, exactly. And I mean, maybe not everyone does this, but if I see like a store, an online store or something, right, and they're selling a product or whatever, I mean, I go to Google and I'm like reviews on Shine.com or, you know, because
that's what I do.
Like, you get what you want, but like the quality is shit or it falls apart in a week or, you know, it's like, guys, you got to do the same thing on people you're buying animals from. You know, you got to make sure they're legit, that their animals are healthy. It's easy to take a hatchling photo and send someone a 300-gram animal that should be 600 grams because it hasn't been eating for 6 months, you know?
Yeah. Look at their Morph Market reviews.
Yeah.
That's what I tell people. Go look at their Morph Market, see if they have store reviews, look at their social media, check them out on social media. Make sure their social media is like scroll down and make sure like they actually, if they have like 400 posts that, you know, they posted like a year ago. So it's not like bullshit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they didn't make 400 posts 3 days ago to get that count up. And
Yeah.
So people just need to do their due diligence and not have to learn that hundreds, if not thousands of dollar lessons. It's not worth it.
Yeah, if it's too good of a deal, guys, right? If it's too good to be true, it's probably not, right? You know, if someone's selling a DG clown pet hypo male for $1,000, right? It's probably not their animal.
Like that fucking guy, Antoine from High Desert got him on IG Live, and he was using Stanley from Echo Reptiles. Shit, so I got that email, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Dude, that dude called me from that fake number saying he was Stanley, and I talked to Stanley, right?
I also talked to Stanley with this.
So like I knew it wasn't him, right? And then like 3 days later, he calls me from the same number, trying to act like I burned him for money. I'm like, bro, you got me fucked up with someone else, and you know, whatever, blah blah blah, you know. And so that guy was an idiot. Anyways, moral of that story was that guy was an idiot.
That dude was a fucking idiot.
To impersonate multiple people from the same burner number.
Yeah, that dude was fucking retarded.
Yeah.
Fuck. I looked at that list and I was like, man, because I had just talked to Stanley like a month or two prior, because I guess his like IG got shut down, and he was like, "Hey man, can you share my thing? My IG got shut down." And I talked to him for a little bit, and I was like, "Man, This is some powerful shit that there's probably not just everyone has out in their racks. I was like,
Yeah.
like Stanley has a hot collection, but some of this shit is like, there's only one of it out there.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you thinking?
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to send that to people with accounts like ours? Where it's like, clearly this person knows what they're looking for, what the fuck they're doing.
Right.
Stupid ass.
Going back a little bit, Shane, to what you said, that he called you saying you burned him or whatever, you know. One of the things that I do specifically, I know Brandon does something very similar, is I take pictures of all my hatchlings every year, right? And I take a picture of them fully stretched out so I can specifically see their dorsal markings, especially behind the head, because they're all very unique, right? And then I give them an ID number. I put them on a folder in my computer of the year, the clutch with their ID number, so I know exactly what that snake looks like, because those markings don't change over time, right? You know, the coloring might be off, but the markings stay fairly the same. And I actually got caught where this is a good thing. About 2 years ago, someone called me and said that they had purchased a snake from me that I sold to them as, I think he said, double het clown pied or something like that. Like, it was a pastel double het clown pied, and he bred it to a clown pied and got all pastels, right? Like, it was a pastel double het to a clown pied, got all pastels. And he knows he bought this snake from me, and he wants his money back because I screwed him. And he told me a kind of an outrageous number, like he paid $2,500 for this female or something. And I was like, wow, that seems like, I don't think I ever would have charged that. And I'm like, well, do you have the ID number? And he's like, yeah, I do. I have an ID number. And so he went on, and I looked it up, and I'm like, well, send me a picture of the snake. And I looked at my picture, and I take a picture with the number on a piece of tape, so I know I don't get them switched up. You know, I know it's that snake. And turns out that he had bought a pastel double het clown pied from someone and couldn't get a hold of that breeder. So he went on to Morph Market, looked up pastel double het clown pieds, took the ID number from my ad, and tried to say it was a snake that he had purchased from me to try to get his money back, because he couldn't get a hold of the person that he actually from. So fortunately, I was able to be like, look, dude, here's the snake, here's the ad. They don't match up, you know. But just people coming back because they get screwed, trying to find someone else to kind of take that blame because they bought from someone that either wasn't reputable or whatever happened. But that's where coming back to, you know, good records is a big thing, and just make sure you're keeping things straight, because people try to pull some weird shit.
Yeah, dude, I just take the picture with all the information right there,
right?
And then I'll save the picture as the ID number. So if I just type it in my search bar, it pops right up, and then if I type that into my Excel spreadsheet, it'll take me right to, you know, dame, sire, hatch date, shed, meals, all that good shit.
Same, but I never thought it would be something that really would come back like that. It was just something I kind of started doing, and it paid off in that instance, because I wouldn't have known otherwise. I probably would have thought like,
yeah, this is the fucking guy.
What the hell, you know? Yeah, I must have got something mixed up, or I mean, it does happen. I hate to say, like, sometimes stuff gets switched around, and fortunately, I've never had that issue, but I know people that do. You know, sometimes a male gets sent instead of a female, or, you know, whatever the case may be, stuff gets switched around. People are crazy. Yep, and they won't take the blame, right? They're going to find someone else to try to push it off onto.
Dude, I had a guy call me from New York. He got my number off of Morph Market, and he called my phone.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, I got this snake off this guy. He said he got it from you. That's this. I'm like, bro, I've never bred anything like that. I've never owned anything like that. I'm sorry this happened to you, but I don't have anything that has spider in a pied project. End of story. It wasn't for me. So what's your guys' thoughts on like customers reselling your stuff or whatever? I mean, do you? Just what's your thoughts on it?
For me, I mean, if a customer resales my animal, I mean, it is what it is. That customer paid for that animal; it's theirs. What they do with it is up to them. But if there's ever an issue and someone tries to come to me about it, I'm like, I produced it, but I didn't sell it to you, so I can't help you, bud.
Yeah.
Sucks to suck.
Yeah. So I'm kind of in the same boat as Brandon. I mean, stuff's going to get resold. I mean, if you think about it, you keep stuff, you breed it for a couple of years, you upgrade it, you know, you're obviously selling off that animal. And I agree. If you get something that someone said they got from me and you have my ID number that everyone gets and you have a question, I'm more than happy to try to answer it. But at the end of the day, like, there's no warranty or guarantee or anything that's been in someone else's care. Now, I guess there's another side of that too. If I found out, like, because I usually give good deals for buying multiple animals, right? You know, if someone's buying 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 animals in one purchase, it's usually a pretty good discount that comes with that.
Yeah, bulk discount.
Right. Now, if I find out, like, you're buying 6, 7, 8, 9 animals at a time to get that discount, and then you're turning around and selling them at full price because you got them at a discount, chances are I'm not going to sell you a bunch of animals then, or you're not getting that discount. Like, you're going to pay full price and sell them at full price, which is probably going to deter that person from doing that again anyway, right? Because the whole reason they were doing it was to kind of flip. So, but yeah, and I mean, projects change, stuff changes, you know, stuff's always going to get sold off. Unfortunately, sometimes, obviously, you always hope that anyone that's selling an animal is doing it for the benefit of that animal and not necessarily, you know, I've refused to sell to people before.
Yeah, same.
You know, I've had people that come up and tell me that they cohab 6 females and 4 breeder males and 8 hatchlings and, you know, all this 2 subadults in a, 95-gallon tank, and they all do fine and there's no issues. You know, I've refused to sell snakes to people that talk like that. You know, and I'm always nice to try to be educational about why we shouldn't cohab and why it's a bad thing. And oh no, they just all cuddle in the corner together all the time. They just love each other, you know. Yeah. And then kind of find out, right, like that they've seen locks with certain females and certain males, and they're like, oh, one's like a pied male and they bred to this normal female. And I'm like, I know it's going to be het pieds. And I'm like, no, you don't, because you got 4 other breeder males in that tank with that same female. And they're like, well, yeah, but we haven't seen a lock with anyone except the pied. And I'm like, that doesn't mean anything, you know?
Yeah, you don't know if it happened.
So, but yeah, I've refused to, you know, just said, like, sorry, dude, I'm not selling my animals knowing that they're going to go into that type of situation. So,
right.
You know, I think there's always, as a seller, there's a level of responsibility to make sure that your buyers are at least have basic knowledge of what they're buying or getting into. Like, I ask everyone who buys a ball python from me, do you have ball pythons at home? You know, they'll say yes or no, and I'll be like, cool, what kind of setup do you have? Like, are you rack system? Are you using tanks? Are you using PVC? You know, and usually if people are like, oh, yeah, you know, I've got 3 at home, and they're all set up in tanks, and I'm like, oh, yeah, they all eat and shed, and they're like, oh, yeah, they're great. That's kind of the end of this discussion. Like, I'm not going to sit there and hound them about the fact that they use tanks. But, I mean, how many people have we had to walk up to a show, and they buy a ball python on an impulse, and they come back 10 minutes later, and they're like, what do I need for this, by the way, home? Like, I've seen that happen to so many vendors, and I'm like, there was no questioning at all. Like, they just came up and offered you $100, and you were like, yeah, you know, cool, take the snake home.
Yeah, man. I'm usually like, what are your plans for this? That's usually my go-to, because everyone wants to talk about themselves and their plans and all the shit they're excited for. So if they're like, oh, yeah, I'm getting this, and I'm going to put it to this, or, you know, oh, well, I have some, so I'm just adding to my pet collection, or You know, very rarely do I ever get someone who is buying one. And if someone's coming to me to buy a snake, they're gonna. Chances are they know what they're doing, because the only time I really, really had to push someone away from buying a snake or trying to get me to sell them a snake is they were trying to buy a snake and they had a couple pets. And I looked at them dead in the face and I was like, listen, I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but I don't exactly have any pets for sale, because all the shit I had was really high end at the time, you know?
Yeah.
And they were like, well, you know, my boyfriend's a master mechanic. He'll do stuff to your Audi and we'll trade. And I'm just like, no, we're not doing that. Because I could just tell, like, their animals probably didn't have the best life.
Right.
Yeah, fuck that, dude.
What about you, Shane? I know you're kind of new at this, right? Got a couple seasons under your belt, but do you have any form of like screening process or anything that you do for customers, or?
Yeah, not like a script or anything, but I just kind of talk with them, because I've had people that I've sold them their very first animal ever to, like, you know, obviously experienced people that are buying shit for their projects. So,
right.
You know, and I try to walk people through how to care for their first animal and stuff. And I mean, a lot of people, they want tanks and they want all the decorations and stuff. And I encourage it. If that's what you want, fucking go for it.
Yeah.
But here's like the parameters you need to hit. You know what I mean? Like, you need a hot spot. You need some humidity. You need an ambient temperature. So like it's going to be harder in that environment, but you can do it. I mean,
but it's possible.
Yeah. That's what I tell people every time. Like, you can have a tank, 100%, no judgment, but it's a lot more work. It's every day checking a hot spot, checking to make sure ambient, checking to make sure humidity, you know, and that's what I always tell them. I really encourage PVC enclosures if I can, if they want something where they can view it, you know. And I always tell people, like, make sure you black out 3 sides of the tank, you know, just take black construction paper and tape it to the outside, you know, that way it's front on the inside. And that helps a lot too. I've noticed just with keeping ball pythons happier in tanks in general. But yeah, you know, I agree. If that's the way they want to keep it, if that makes them happy, if the snake is happy with it, then I just had a situation. I sold a guy a banana inchie. He took it home, had a PVC enclosure. You know, everything was set up perfect. The snake was eating. It was shedding. It was great. But he was just super defensive being in a PVC. Like, they'd walk by it and he'd strike and hit the glass, you know. And the guy was like, it was his first ball python. It was supposed to be a pet. He's like, my son's afraid of it. You know, he's like, it's not a good time. He's like, I've been getting it out. And he read up on some stuff. Like, he was getting it out and putting it in like a pillowcase and just kind of sitting with it in the pillowcase, trying to see if it would just get used to being handled and mellow down. And he kept in contact with me this entire time. And the snake just never chilled out. I mean, and he sent me pictures and videos of it eating. It was healthy, but it was just angry all the time. And he's like, man, I just don't know what to do. And I said, hey, you know what? I have a banana pastel inchie who's super chill. I was like, why don't you just bring me back the banana inchie and I'll trade you out this banana pastel inchie male, you know? And the guy's like, he's like, yeah, you know, I wouldn't mind that. Let's give it a try. I got the banana inchie back and it was fat, healthy, happy. He got that one. That one's doing great. It loves its PVC enclosure. It's eating and shedding. It's super cool. He's got like a 6-year-old son that's super happy, can get it out, play with it, you know. But even, you know, some animals, even if they're eating and still shedding, they just are always on that defensive side in those big enclosures like that, you know. And I didn't feel like it was fair to the customer. It wasn't fair to the snake either. Like, obviously the snake's unhappy if it's constantly angry all the time. I got him back in a rack system now. He's been through quarantine for 90 days, all that fun stuff. He's happy, super good. But that's another just customer relations thing. Like, that's not my fault. It's not his fault. It's just something that happened. He was in constant contact. You know, if you can make it work, then, you know, all right, I was asking $25 more for the pastel inchie banana than I was for the banana inchie. You know, it was nothing. Yes.
Okay, we got an actual question.
Yeah.
What are your final goal expectations out of this hobby starting at your age? I'm close to the same age. It's a question my husband always asks me.
What, starting in your 20s like me? All right.
Yeah, exactly.
It's what's in the.
Mine's just, well, first of all, it's like a self-supporting thing. But my whole goal is to pad my retirement. For the financial end of stuff. And if it's ever like a full-time gig, that'd be cool too. Like maybe it'd be full-time after I retire from my day job. And then that's supplemental income at that point. I don't know. Something to that degree.
Yeah, I feel that.
Awesome.
I feel that. I'm trying to go full-time by the end of this year. That's my goal.
Oh, well, I'm rooting for you.
Thanks, man.
That's awesome.
Fucking hyped about it. For real. But
I went full time during 2020, COVID 2020. I went full time. So
that's what a lot of people took some big leaps in 2020, man.
Yeah.
And it's been paying off for them pretty hard.
And even when we started, I was part time, so I didn't go quite from full time to doing this full time. I was still part time, but I was a computer programmer before we started breeding snakes. And I don't know if any computer programmers make pretty good money. They're in high demand, computers kind of make the world go round nowadays. But we started doing this and I just fell in love with it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to quit my job. And I didn't tell Kyle. I didn't do anything. He was working third shifts at the time. I quit my job. I gave my 2 weeks notice and he was, he came home at like midnight, went to bed or whatever. And he woke up at like 10 o'clock and I was still in bed. And he was like, oh my gosh, you didn't get up and go to work. Like your alarm didn't go off or whatever. And I'm like, nah, I quit my job.
I quit my job.
And he's like, what? Because I literally had cut our income in half.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I just decided I'm going to do the snakes full time. And I'm going to do the snakes part time. And I went and got a part-time job as a dog groomer. And so, but yeah, it was just I'm spontaneous, but yeah, that's how this whole thing started really rolling. And it went from just kind of being a side hobby to I want to make this work. And we were trying to build it. And I just didn't have enough time, doing everything else and the job full time. And so I just pulled the plug and we're very fortunate that it worked out. But sometimes it's those big leaps that people are afraid to make that make all the difference, really. Sometimes it's just, you got to take the plunge or you'll never know, so I feel like a lot of people are, next year or 5 years, or they're always pushing it off. And, what could you have accomplished in those 10 years that you pushed it off if you would have been able to give all your attention to
everything you
have? I know Royal Reptiles is blown up in the past, 3 years that I've been doing it mainly full time. And then even just last year from, taking just a normal 20, part-time, like 25-hour a week job, being able to come in and focus strictly on the snakes for at least 40 hours a week. They get my undivided attention.
Right.
It makes a big difference.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to both of you guys. You're killing it.
Thanks,
yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully you won't be too far behind.
Yeah, I know, man. I would love to see you go full time.
Well, you're on your second season, right, Shane?
Yeah, this is just starting my second season.
Yeah. So I mean, give it 3 more years. You'll be
3 or 4 more years. You'll be there.
Losing you guys again. Oh, there you are.
Yeah,
I lost you for a second.
No, we were saying 3 or 4 more years, and you'll be financially you'll be ready to go full time probably.
So we kind of did similar to what Liz was saying, but so my wife was working in California, but when we moved out here, I'm the one working. She's taking care of snakes full time now.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
That
Yeah,
is awesome.
he's like similar to what Liz is doing, but we talked about it first.
My wife does not like being like the front piece or whatever of the outfit, so
Right. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you really don't do shit. You're just a figurehead, right?
Well, in the beginning, I did it all. This whole transition,
I
it's
love
like
it.
everything. So it's actually pretty good though. It's actually
Yeah, that's solid.
like
dude.
I said, I'll go check the cameras and she'll be in there like talking to Pebbles and hi, how you doing? I'm like, oh yeah. She hates
It's so
him.
funny.
Yeah.
Have a conversation with him,
That's
Dude,
awesome.
Your wife is like
you know,
your best employee.
Yeah.
You got to get her to come around though, because that was probably the thing that held me back the most. Is I don't like being on camera. I don't like talking like this. In person I talk forever, but I cannot listen to myself. Like I will never go back and watch these lives. Like I can't do it. And that was a hard thing for me on YouTube and just like putting my face out there even through like stories and that kind of stuff. I used to hate it. Like it used to drive me crazy, and you get used to it. I'm sure you know as well with the YouTube. The first few videos you listen to yourself, you're like, holy fuck, I am the most annoying person on the planet.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that my voice sounds like that. It's just totally like it bugs you so much. And then, as you do it more and you get used to hearing yourself talk on camera and that kind of stuff, you get more used to it. But that was probably the thing that held me back the most is we were no one knew. Like no one knew who we were. No one knew anything about us. And now I'm the crazy chick with crazy lipstick colors and purple hair, but it didn't used to be that way.
Yeah, but there's a lot to be said when you can connect like a logo with the face.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Makes me feel better about my purchase versus I'm just buying some logo off the Morph Market. When I see somebody's logo and I'm like, hey, I see them doing lives and all.
Yeah.
Makes me feel comfortable.
Yeah,
100%.
Totally.
Yeah.
I can always tell who actually knows me and who doesn't, though, because it's always when the people are like, "Hey, bro, like that's how much you asking for that steak?" I'm always like, "All right, so you don't know." You don't know who I am.
Hey, but you guys are tricking me with the Reptile Revolution.
I know. I'll give you a break on that one. It's both of us. It is both of us.
It is both of us.
But no, it's so funny because people message me or they'll comment and be like, "Bro, that's so sick," or like, "Oh, dude," and I'm like, "All right." I got really used to it. But then it's funny when they realize that I'm a girl, because some people will never say anything, like they just quit messaging me completely, and then some people give me like these long drawn out apologies about how they've been calling me like Mr. or dude. And I'm like, it's just a funny aspect of it. It doesn't offend me, it doesn't bother me, like I get it, most people. But it's funny to see how some people react to stuff like that sometimes.
Right.
Fuck yeah, dude. Well, I got one more.
Yeah, we got one more question, then we're at about 2 hours, so we'll let you probably get to bed here pretty soon, Shane. I imagine you got some driving to do in the morning.
Yep. Gotta wake up early and hit the road.
So, did we do how did you move your snakes?
How did I move them?
Yeah, like do you have any tips for people that are moving their snakes cross country, or how did the whole process go?
Yeah, well, don't overthink it. I learned this, if you guys know who Dave Dornsife is, 3D Reptiles. Ryan Cusco did a video on him a few years back. He moved from Illinois to Arizona. So I just hit him up. I'm like, man, that's a similar distance or whatever. And I just got U-line boxes and packed them like I was shipping them, but without the styrofoam. There's no styrofoam involved. I just had holes in each side, 2 holes on each side. And then every snake had its own box and its own label. And then I just kept it in the cab of the truck with me. And I climate controlled them with the heating and AC that's built into the truck. And then hauled their equipment in a separate trailer. So the snakes and their equipment were on the same, convoy right there. And, that's basically it.
Simple.
yeah, and then some little things that I did, and we kind of discussed earlier how a lot of people's females will go off or whatever, but mine just seemed to have like postponed for a couple months or whatever. How do I word it? So on the California side, I just dumped their substrate, put all their tubs right back in the same spot in the rack, and that's how I transported those racks. Then when I got them to Knoxville, all I did was put new substrate in. I did not wash the racks or none of that stuff. So every female or every
scents.
I kept all the scents and every scent in the exact same spot in their rack with the same. And then normally I just do a full complete tub change and scrub down, disinfect every time a snake sheds. So then, once they went through their shed cycle in Knoxville, they went right back onto their normal cleaning cycle. But just as far as like moving them, I wanted them to just feel like, secure and less stressful. Yeah. And I don't know if, I feel that it worked because everyone went like right back on food on that side.
That's a good idea.
Everyone just continued on. When a normal person would think, hey, while I got all this stuff apart, let's scrub them down and blah, blah, blah. I was like, no, because then it's going to be like, they're all going to be freaked out by the time I get them there.
Yeah.
Right.
In fact, all the girls that I was pairing in California, when I packed them in their box, I put the cocoa blocks that they had in their tub with them around them, just so like they felt like snug, like all the way there.
That's smart.
That is awesome. It also makes me wonder, since you individually packaged everyone too, like you didn't have the stress of like piling 5 or 6 snakes in a box and driving them for 2 days across country.
Yeah.
Like what if you were shipping them, right? And you've got like, you try to put your bigger breeder females on the bottom and then your smaller stuff kind of on top. And
I played all those scenarios through my head before the move. Like, should I buy Rubbermaid tubs? How many Rubbermaid tubs? How many snakes fit in a Rubbermaid tub? All this stuff. And then finally I was like, man, I just need to ask that guy. And he's like, no, you just put them in all in individual boxes. And then I had like a little cargo net that covered them, so when I hit the brakes, they didn't all fly up in the front of the cab.
Yeah.
My father-in-law and me just took turns driving. We never stayed at a hotel, so we drove all the way straight through, and then we just kept temp gunning the boxes all throughout the back during the drive. And we just tried to keep them like, I don't know. There's a couple times they got down to like 78, but we tried to keep them like 78 to like 82, 3. Just right in there. And
that is awesome. That is a brilliant way to do it, too.
The leopard geckos, the hognose, like all of them. They all got transported like that. The beaded lizard, everyone.
Yeah, that's smart, dude. I just like, when I moved from Fort Bragg, North Carolina to Fort Sill, Oklahoma, I just put all the fucking I left everything in the racks. Put it all in the back of the U-Haul so the opening portions of the tubs were facing each other. You know what I mean? So they couldn't open. Ratchet strap the racks together, and then I just fit them in there perfect so they weren't sliding around. But I would rather do it your way.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, my deal was I was moving, like we drove through a blizzard and stuff. So like if those snakes were in the trailer, they would have been frozen.
Yeah, see, I moved at the end of July, the beginning of August, so it was
though, like heat, depending on where you're going, like those U-Hauls get hot. Like, we were talking to a buddy because we do the live rodents, and one guy's like, I was transporting rodents, like several hundred rodents, just like 20 minutes down the road, and he put them all in a U-Haul, and when he got there, they were all dead.
So
like they all overheated.
So check this out. I can never advocate for soft furs enough.
And it was only like 80 degrees. Like it wasn't like a ridiculous hot day,
So when I have my rodents in that U-Haul as well with my snakes. And this is fucked because I did have a breeder female get out and she was eating a rat, like hanging from the top of the rack, eating the rat. And I even like looked at my wife at the time was like, you just looked at me here like she's eating this fucking rat. I was so pissed. But yeah, the only thing that survived, well, rodent wise, all the snakes made it. The only thing that survived that trip was the African soft furs. All of my rats, I bought 100 rats to take with me, and all the rats died.
Yep.
All those soft furs made it, man. Those little fuckers are so resilient.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they're badass. I love them little bastards.
Well,
But
we're glad you had a
we're at the
flawless.
2 hour mark.
Yeah, I'm glad you had a flawless, move from California to
Yeah, man.
Tennessee. You're now hanging out with all the cool kids. There's Alyssa from Full Throttles, and I'm sure Kabulka's not too far from you. And
Brittany
I could
Goggles,
name off a dozen
Rachel.
others that are kind of over in that area. But
I'll be there in a few months, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude. Fuck yeah.
And obviously doing great stuff for your second season. How many Batmans did you hit in that clutch last year? I don't remember.
4.
4.
Yeah, that shit was.
Yeah,
From a visual to a hit, it was like my odds were 1 in 16, and I hit 4.
Yeah.
that's crazy. Yeah,
I remember that. I was like, God damn.
I do too. I remember, and it's one of those moments where you're like, man, that's awesome, and fuck you. Like all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, but I had some fucking low lows too,
Oh
so,
yeah.
I mean, so it all evens out.
It always works itself out. Unfortunately, it seems like, but no, I always love those moments where it's like, man, yeah, that's awesome, like that's so great, and there's that little thing in the back of your mind that's like, man, fuck him.
Like, yeah, dude. Like, where's my fucking good luck odds?
Yeah,
man? This fucking guy over here sucking up all the good luck. Fucking good luck sucker. God
I'm
damn.
telling you, and I'm about to start asking, like these Kabulka and Ozzy and Shane. Obviously, you had some good odds last year, but like you said, you got some. Like, what rituals are you people doing with this clown shit? Like, seriously, you've got to be sacrificing something to the clown gods. It's just ridiculous.
Just a whole bunch of time. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the most precious thing someone could sacrifice.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can't get that back.
No.
Yeah, say it all the time. You need more money. You could always get another job. You could always make more money. Time, you can't buy time back, man. You can't. It's gone. It's fucking gone.
Yeah.
But you ready for the revolution round?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. All right, you ready? It's going to be quick.
All right.
What's your 1 rep max for bench press?
Anymore, man, I don't know. I haven't bench pressed anything in a while, man. I had a shoulder surgery and stuff.
I remember, yeah. You had yours when I had mine about a year ago. Close to it.
Well, dumbbells, I was doing 120s in each hand. I wasn't working bars though anymore.
Nice.
Oh, I'll take that. That's pretty
There you go.
good.
Yeah.
Dumbbell press 120 per arm. That's good. Yeah.
All right, we're talking about the snake morph here, Shane. Don't let me down. Is it caramel or caramel?
It's depends on who you talk to. I say caramel.
I say caramel. Fuck yeah, dude.
It's caramel. It's caramel albino.
But I do like caramello candy bars.
Candy bars, yeah.
I mean,
That's
you say
it,
caramello.
That is caramello, yeah.
So,
Oh, that doesn't make sense, Brandon. You
Yes,
can't.
it does. It's Italian.
Italian.
It's Italian. Caramello is Italian as fuck.
All right.
That's why it gets that extra syllable. Straight up, man. It ain't my fault.
well, I order caramel ribbon crunches. Caramel ribbon crunch. They don't say caramel ribbon crunch.
Yeah. Like in my mind, it's a caramel albino. Or wait, is it caramel or caramel? In my mind,
Caramel. It's caramel albino.
it's caramel albino in my
No,
head.
you just said it. I got you. You just said it's caramel albino.
She's brainwashed you already.
Yeah, she's fucking with me, dude. She put some shit in the
It's a
shit.
gift.
She put some shit in the shit I smoked earlier. This is what it is. Yeah, no, fucking, it's definitely caramel.
You guys heard it. He said it's caramel albino.
No, it's caramel.
I did hear that, but I'm saying I order a caramel ribbon crunch at Starbucks.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take back what I said and say it's caramel.
But you buy a caramello candy bar, so I mean it
Yeah.
could be either way.
But it's because caramel is not Italian.
It's potato.
That's potato. There's no such thing.
It's like,
No
no,
such thing as
no, that
potato.
one doesn't
I
work.
don't know what the fuck potato is. That sounds like some Lion King, Timon and Pumbaa shit to say. Hakuna Matata, motherfucker. Yeah. Okay. You look old as fuck. So how old are you, Shane?
I am 43.
Okay, yeah, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
You're younger than my dad. That's for sure.
You're way younger than my parents.
Favorite band?
Guns N' Roses.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Nice.
And
All right. Last but not least, how are you revolutionary?
I don't give a fuck. I just do what I do, and it just whatever chips. It usually works out for me, but sometimes it doesn't, and it goes from whatever. Yeah, David, I'd like to say that I'm not even gonna go there, David. Hit me up on IG, Brian.
Or you can go on Store Frontier. I got mine on Store Frontier.
Store Frontier, man.
Store Frontier.
Get Oodles and Noodles shirts there too.
You can. I sell them there. Well, I don't, but my
They're
my
there.
logo's there. Yeah, someone will sell my shirt to you. That's all I know.
And they get it there to you in like a week and a half, 2 weeks, and it's bad.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I've
It's
got
just
Store Frontier set up now. There's also on my Store Frontier, there's Reptile Revolution merch on there as well. For some
I'm
reason,
gonna have to go over there and follow those stores then, because
yeah, we've got some stuff up there. For some reason, it wouldn't let me open another account. Kept saying that thought it was I was a bot, which I thought was really weird. But so I just went ahead and threw it up on my store. So we're trying to get it worked out to where Reptile Revolution will have its own thing. But
yeah,
right now that's where you can get them.
I will go over and check out your store.
Awesome.
Really?
I know I got a lot of shirts I need to order. A lot of shirts that I need to order. I put it off for so long now. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to drop like $500 on shirts. I have a lot that I need to catch up on. But
me too.
All right. Well, Shane, thank you very, very much for being on. We had a great time.
Yeah, dude.
Giving us your time. Like I said, no excuses, man.
Yeah, man.
We'll change it up, and he's
fucking
still on. So we appreciate it very much.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for your time. You fucking pumped me up. I can't wait to come visit you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you won't be at Schaumburg, correct, this weekend?
No, I won't be there.
Any plans for Tinley this fall?
I don't know. I haven't really made any plans for this year because of all the other moves and stuff.
Totally understand.
I'm right there with you, brother. Believe me.
Yep.
I'm right there.
I'm fortunate. It's about 2.5 hours for me. So Schaumburg and Tinley both, and then even St. Louis is 4-hour drive. So this is one good thing about being in Illinois. I'm pretty central to everything except Arlington.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you very, very much. We appreciate your time. You have a good night and drive safe.
Yeah, drive safe,
tomorrow.
brother. Thank you. And I'll talk to you later, man.
All right. Bye, guys. Thank
Later,
you.
bro.
Bye.
All
right. That was good. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, man, I love Shane. He's like, how do I explain Shane? Shane's like the oldest, youngest guy. Like, he's such a young-hearted dude, but he's like got the body of like a 90-year-old. Oh my God.
You're so mean. All right, who's our guest for next week?
Hold on, let me look at the calendar. It is
come on.
The 16th. So the 23rd is oh shit, we're doing Brian and Jason.
Yep.
They're from Herpticulture magazine, guys. Like, this is like a big deal. This is especially a big deal to me because right when I was a kid, I would go down, I grew up real poor, so I'd go down to the laundromat, and the laundromat got subscriptions of the old Herpticulture magazines, and that's where I first saw like ball pythons. Like, like the normal, the bumblebee, Pinstripe, Lemon Blast, and there was one more, and those were like the only morphs that were the pastel, and those are the only morphs that were out there. So it's really cool to get these guys on. If you go to their IG, you can read all the issues of the magazines digitally for free, or if you want, you can get the hard copy. We'll have the links in there next week. And the magazines, you're going to see, they featured Corey Martin in one of their magazines once, talking about her carpets and stuff. They had a green tree neonate on the cover of the one they just put out, and I'm pretty sure on the next one the cover is a Boega, which is the big
That is
snake
so
I just
awesome.
got. Yeah, reptiles galore, everything, guys. It's like gun magazines, but for us. So it was really cool. These dudes agreed to do this with us, and I'm really, really
We're super excited. Yes.
So, yeah, if you guys have any cool questions for guys like this, anything magazine related, editorial, animal related, how they came, you'll know their story. But if you got any questions, shoot it to us, and we'll ask them.
100%. All right, guys. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I'll be trying to go live some this weekend from Schaumburg as I can, showing off some cool stuff. And next week we'll have Herpetoculture Magazine, so it should be a good one. All right, guys. Thanks so much.
Later, guys. See you next week.